This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news, and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Georgia Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLisio and Kenny Bergamy.
Well, hi there. Welcome to the show. Happy you decided to join us, and we're even happier that we have 30 minutes because let me tell you, we do have a lot to talk about today.
That's right. Coming up, still going strong since 1972, Goodson Pecans. Damon Jones shows us how this Leesburg business went from small-time operation to online superstore. Also on the program, Georgia FFA president. It's a role one doesn't take lightly, and it's a role Tucker Felkins is honored to have. The Monitor goes one-on-one with the leader of this year's officer team. And then later.
Hey everybody, Ranger Nick coming up. If the warmer weather has got you excited about going outside and you're interested in putting in a pond like this, I've got some tips on how to put them in and maintain them. Something to ponder for sure. All that and so much more starts right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Well, recently, the Georgia Farm Bureau hosted its annual farm tour with a trip down 75 South and beyond. As always, those who participated were enthusiastic as the event highlighted several different operations in this very diverse area of the state. One thing about the Georgia Farm Bureau, when they set out on a road trip, they do it in style. All told, the 2017 farm tour covered nearly 500 miles with 10 stops in 3 days. Now, yes, that's a lot of ground to cover in just a short amount of time, but well worth it, according to Georgia Farm Bureau President Gerald Long.
It's an opportunity to see different parts of the state each year. And, you know, this year we'll be touring we're in the 8th district now. We'll be in the 9th and the 10th district. So we'll be covering a lot of ground, mainly looking at different vegetable operations and how each one of them are unique in the industry. But I think it'll showcase the importance of not only vegetable production and what it means to the American consumer, but also the water issues, because vegetables are very high users of water.
On day one, the Monitor tagged along for 2 of the stops, one of which included McLeod Farms in Pineview, Georgia. Owner Bob McLeod explaining to the group that normally this time of year the place is bustling with cantaloupes. But on this day, they were few and far between, thanks to a lady who can sometimes be a bit difficult to predict.
Well, any sector of farming, you're always dealing with Mother Nature. So you don't know how much sunshine, how much rain, what other characteristics will come in. This year, we have not had the intense heat we normally have. Normally, we're harvesting by now. So I had thought we would actually be able to go to the field, pick a cantaloupe, and let them take something home. But we have no cantaloupes ready yet. So we're just sitting waiting.
Despite the lack of cantaloupes, the group as a whole was understanding and still enjoyed their stay. Next up on the agenda, a 35-minute trip down Georgia 112 and an agritourism operation the Monitor has visited a number of times over the past few years, Calhoun Produce. The family business, owned and operated by Gerald and Joyce Calhoun, their son Brad and daughter Sheila, is known for its main crop of fresh shelled butter beans and peas. And on this day, the group was given a first-hand look at the packing facility, as well as the sights and sounds of the surrounding wildlife.
In the spring and fall, we have fun on the farm. So we have all kind of farm animals. We take a wagon ride. You can take a wagon ride to see all the animals, horses, sheep, buffalo, longhorn steer, pigs. We do pig races in the spring and fall. We want you to get a great farm experience because, you know, farm is just not crops. We have farm animals, livestock, and kids need to see that, families need to see that, and see all about the farm experience while you're here. When you come to our farm, we want you to feel like you are at home. We are a family business, and we welcome families here because when you can come here, we want you to learn where your crops come from. And we teach that in the spring, where you can pick your strawberries and see where they come right from the field. The kids get to pick their own strawberries. And in the summer, come get your fresh shelled butter beans and peas right from the farm. They can be picked that same day, shelled that day, and you can eat them the same day all in one time. But yeah, we want you to feel right at home at our farm.
That is good stuff. Meantime, it takes plenty of time and hard work to manage a farm, and it's just as difficult to run a retail business. However, one family-run operation in Leesburg has been successful at both, while at the same time providing the highest quality pecan products to the public. Damon Jones has the story.
Year in and year out, the state of Georgia is the largest producer of pecans in the nation. And most of these businesses are family owned and operated, which means a passion for the industry has been passed on through the generations. And that's certainly the case for Goodson Pecans in Leesburg.
They've grown up in our family, and I grew up working in pecans, picking up limbs. Weekends were usually working in the pecan grove quite often. And so, but as it's kind of grown into the family over the last several years, I've just come to take a lot more ownership in it and enjoy being a part of it.
And what he enjoys the most is being able to oversee the production of a quality product from start to finish.
What I love out here is just being able to, I guess, be in nature and just enjoy working with the trees and really seeing them grow from budding out and pollinating, and then being able to care for them and seeing the end production. So I think it's just that aspect of caring for the land and really seeing it produce some great quality pecans from it.
While it's a product they have been selling for decades, the Goodsons decided to branch out in 2009 and start selling specialty items.
Over that, we just started adding flavors, gourmet flavors, and then 2 years ago, we began to notice that there, like in the nut butter market, was really strong and really big, and we noticed that there weren't a lot of pecan butters out there.
Now you can find the Goodson brand at their store in Albany or on the online market. And while being a small family-run business, they handle everything from production to shipping.
It's a tremendous amount of work. We have to, at the beginning steps, it's taking the pecans, mixing them together, toasting them, packaging them, and then shipping them out. And so we do all of it. And so it's a lot. It's a whole lot of work.
But all that work is paying off as the demand for this unique product has really grown over the past few years.
And domestically, we're starting to see a greater interest from shelled pecans, quality shelled pecans, and even gourmet flavors, and even the pecan butters. There's just a growing interest in the benefits that pecans can bring to people from a diet standpoint.
Now, despite the success, there were plenty of questions when they took a leap of faith by opening the store 8 years ago.
Really, the fear of what people are going to think about your product, and I had to just overcome that, and also understanding, like, are they going to be happy with the price? Are they going to be happy with the product? And I just grew over the years. I grew to just be confident in the quality product we made.
It's a quality product they are proud to serve to the public, especially with it carrying the family name.
We take quite a bit of pride. I mean, it's looking back at my grandfather farmed pecans, and even my son now being involved with it. We've got 4 generations involved with, having been involved with it in my family, and so there's a bit of pride and excitement in it.
Reporting from Leesburg, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Damon, thank you so much. Still to come on the program, if you're thinking about building a backyard pond or in the process of building one, Ranger Nick talks to one expert about the do's and don'ts of creating and maintaining it.
But first, as we go to break, a profile of one of the new Georgia State FFA officers who recently spent the day at the Georgia Farm Bureau. This is the first of 7 profiles you'll see in the coming weeks.
My name is Hinkley Hood, and it is my privilege to serve as the 2017-2018 Georgia State FFA Secretary, and I'm proudly representing the Ware County FFA chapter. My parents are both in the medical field, but my father growing up was in the FFA, and he got to serve as a chapter treasurer. So whenever I got in 6th grade, I knew it was kind of a family legacy, I guess you could say, to be in the FFA. So I just kind of started the FFA thinking I wasn't going to be in this big of a role. I just wanted to be a future agriculturist. I didn't know what I wanted to do yet, but I knew I wanted to be in agriculture. So that's the reason I joined FFA. And whenever I joined, I realized that this is just such a great organization, and there's so many fields that you can go into. And we have something called CDEs, which is a career development event. And that's exactly what it is. It develops you for a future career. So you can have anything from welding all the way to extemporaneous public speaking, or livestock judging, or forestry. The list just goes on and on.
To learn more about the National FFA organization, log on to ffa.org.
I'm Zippy Duval, and I'm a third-generation dairy farmer that's now a beef farmer. I'm sitting here on my grandfather's old barn that he built in 1939, and I grew up here. I grew up here and thought I'd be a lawyer at one time, and but I'd always wear the road out from college getting back here to be with the cows because that's where I was most comfortable and enjoyed doing it. Coming back home to the farm and being able to spend time with these beautiful creatures, it is a sense of grounding yourself, and it's a sense of accomplishment. Oh, ain't nobody gonna hurt you. I'm very passionate about what I do. You got a good mama. I'm passionate about agriculture and farmers and their families and their communities. Come on. We carry this tremendous burden on our shoulders. I'll give y'all some. We're the ones that are out there making sure that food and fiber and clothing is produced in a healthy way, and there's enough of it for everybody to go around. Yeah, my dad got me involved in Farm Bureau by encouraging me to get outside my fence rows and get involved in policy making. Well, it's important because agriculture is one of the main drivers outside of our urban areas. A lot of the issues we face are very difficult. We're very concerned where agriculture is right now, but the biggest thing is that they're overregulated. We're sitting here on about 650, 700 acres of land. I think about all the things that we do as farmers to take care of this land and the animals, and it kind of motivates me to get back out and tell the story. No time in history have we ever needed a united voice in agriculture. We're looking for opportunities in the landscape to take our organization and tell the farmer's story to make a difference in that policy that's going to shape his life back on the farm. And that's what our job is. Our mission is to be their voice. In the absence of having Farm Bureau, there would be no voice.
History was made at this year's State FFA convention as Tucker Felkins of Cochran became the first member from the Central Georgia region to be elected as state president. The Blakely County High School junior recently sat down with the monitor to share his hopes for the organization's future and what it took to win the position, which included plenty of hard work and a catchy slogan.
My name is Tucker Felkins. I currently hold the 2017-2018 State FFA President position. My career in FFA started in the 8th grade when my ag teacher actually pulled me out of class to do a state or an area competition. The competition was forestry, and from there it just led to my career in FFA. I was involved my freshman year, my sophomore year, and my junior year in numerous CDs until it led up to my leadership positions as both a chapter, then an area, and eventually the state officer position. I pretty much felt all the feelings at once when I was up on stage, but the feelings that I felt at state convention, happiness when I got it, I would have felt sadness if I didn't get it. It was just a mixture of all feelings at once, I guess you could say. You want to get into the nominating committee in order to actually run for a state officer position. And the nominating committee works like this. It's a 50-question multiple choice exam over FFA, farm facts, and parliamentary procedure, 2 personal interviews, and a group interview. And based on a combination of those scores, you get chosen as a member of the nominating committee, and those 12 run for state office. And from there, once the 12 run, 6 vice presidents are elected, and from that group, a president and a secretary and 2 more vice presidents rise up. My advisor's tip to me was this: campaign, campaign, campaign. Here's what I did. When I got there, I campaigned, and when I left, I was still campaigning. Basically, I told them my name, told them I was running for state office, and told them my slogan, "Don't be a sucker, vote for Tucker." And that's what won me the presidency. And I want to take every FFA member and make them strive to be the best they can possibly be, just like me. I want to see hundreds of people try and run for state office instead of just probably the near 40 that we got. I want the best of the best FFA members to run our organization for the future. I would like to see FFA membership increase, possibly diversify some more. I would really love to see FFA members just strive to be the best that they can be, and mainly increase participation at not only the chapter and area level, but also the state, and have more people advance to the national level.
And just a reminder, if you missed any part of the story or others on today's program, you can still see them in their entirety at our YouTube channel. That's the Georgia Farm Monitor. Once there, browse the archive of stories that go back to 2009.
And of course, once you're done watching all those informative stories, keep clicking and like the Georgia Farm Monitor Facebook page that we have set up for you. Also, if you have a story idea or if you just want to leave us a comment or suggestion, feel free to send us a message either on Facebook or at the address you see there on the screen. That is news@farm-monitor.com.
Hey everybody, Ranger Nick coming up. Backyard ponds are becoming more and more popular, and I've got some tips on what to do and what not to do if you're thinking about installing one of these ponds on your property. That's after this break.
Finally this week, with June 21st marking the official start of summer, you might be thinking of some ways to give that old backyard of yours a little facelift.
Ranger Nick has a suggestion, and if you ask us, what he's about to tell you is a little fishy.
Well, hey everybody, these backyard ponds like you're looking at here are becoming more and more popular around landscapes at folks' homes. At my house, I'm very interested in putting one of these things in, but don't know a whole lot about it at all. But I'm going to introduce you to somebody you've seen before on the show that knows a thing or two, Dr. Chris Irwin. Dr.
Hello,
Irwin,
Nick.
good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend.
I understand that you have put one of these guys in and have learned a thing or two on what to do and what not to do. So talk to us a little bit about how you installed this pond here. What are some things we need to think about if our viewers at home are trying to plan one of these guys?
First of all, location.
Okay.
Location is the most important because you may have some natural land features that will enhance the quality of the pond and the experience then also to in the location to a patio. That's very important. As you can see, the process here is that we added a waterfall.
Okay.
And we use the natural slope of the land to install that waterfall.
Interesting.
So it gives us a nice sense of water coming down the hill over rocks that are naturally there and flowing into this pond, almost like a spring.
Now, you weren't concerned at all about runoff coming down this hill as you were thinking about putting this in, or you just wanted that slope for the water's sake?
Runoff was an issue, but we made sure that there was any soil berming that we did up above to keep water coming down the slope. But as far as right around the pond, it's not an issue.
Interesting.
No.
Now, I'm thinking about how you went about putting this in. I'm picturing you out here when the ground is just bare. You see that this guy told me earlier was put in spring 2002.
That's
first
right.
time you put this
That's
in.
right.
How did you start? And once you identified on this slope, how did you design the flow of this, the size, the shape? Talk to us about that.
The shape was kind of dictated because we have a phone line that runs right along this area right through here, so we made sure that we were not close to the phone line. We also then had literally a can of paint, and I came out and painted an outline, and my wife and I worked together to come up to say, yep, that's where we want it to be.
Okay.
So once we decided that, I got the shovel and the wheelbarrow and started digging.
All right. And you did some things, probably called somebody to make sure there wasn't that buried cable here.
Right.
Looked at
Absolutely.
the slope.
First of all, that was the first thing.
Yeah, that's good. Designed the shape of this guy and then started thinking about depth and those kind of things. What I want to do for our folks at home next is take us from the planning stage into when you started putting this thing in the ground, building the liner and those kind of things. So let's go there next.
Nick, the first thing we did was lay in the stones. We wanted to make sure the waterfall would fit. After that, we pulled those rocks out. We laid in a liner. This was the original liner. And
Just
it's very
kind of
thin
yeah,
and brittle.
Yeah.
Well, after a few years and a leak in the pond, we went to a different liner. And this is much like an inner tube. You can see it's flexible and very malleable, even though it's been in the sun.
Thicker like that, yeah. So again, a trial. You didn't put in a plastic pool under the ground.
No, I did not.
You put your own liner in. Interesting. Interesting.
That's right.
That's great. So, and the depth of it, Chris. How deep did you go? How deep do we want to go?
First of all, I dug as deep as I could.
Okay.
And that was 21 inches over here and 17 inches over here.
Okay.
And that's okay. We've never had a freeze problem at all. The water from the waterfall moves enough, and also the drawing into the skimmer.
Okay. So talk to us about that. We got this waterfall on the uphill slide of that.
Right.
That's bringing that water down. A skimmer, though, I'm familiar with that with a pool, but not a pond like this. Why a skimmer?
Oh, skimmers are very important because all the leaves that fall in here during the autumn, they are drawn, those that don't sink, those that are floating are drawn into that skimmer, which then has a net and then a set of brushes.
Okay.
And then the pump is in the back side of that box.
Interesting. So this skimmer right here, you put this guy in, it's leading us back to a pump. Is what's cleaning the water and keeping it clean like this?
It's cleaning the debris out of the water. From the skimmer box, the water is then pumped into a biological filter, which is back behind.
It's back here.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And so you've got it kind of hidden back here among the bushes. Now, Chris, I don't know if I'm just seeing things or not, but in this filter, do you have like a little night light or something in there so you can see at night? I mean,
absolutely, absolutely. That little light you're seeing is a UV clarifier.
Okay.
The water comes into the filter, it passes by that UV light, killing the algae and bacteria that are in the water.
Interesting.
Therefore, then the filter itself is doing the actual nitrogen cycle, changing nitrite into nitrate.
Okay. Now, I want to talk next about cleaning this, maintaining this, and some things to keep in mind, because you got some little friends swimming around in there too, so let's talk about that next. All right, so those of you that know me know I'm not exactly the most handy person. Chris, I can imagine myself following the steps we've talked about today, digging this hole, putting the liner in, and you'd look at my pond and it would be green. How in the world did you get your pond so clean and keep it so clean?
Well, through trial and tribulation, we learned that having the skimmer and the biological filter is key, and also the UV filter.
For the algae,
the UV clarifier.
Good, okay, gotta have that light.
Absolutely, the light is very important. But also maintenance, daily routine maintenance. I shouldn't say daily, but weekly at the minimum. That you need to clean the brushes and the netting in the skimmer.
So I'm taking that, just a plastic rock off the top, cleaning that out, hosing it off?
Yeah, just simple
hose.
hose.
Okay.
Simple hosing. And then based on the season, in the summertime, the biological filter needs to be cleaned at least once a month, maybe every 2 weeks, just to maintain the integrity of the bacteria and the health of the bacteria in the filter itself.
Okay, and that bacteria is a good thing to have in there. We want a little bit of that as things are decomposing. Very good.
Right.
And then, so you're doing this stuff, cleaning this out, the waterfall's going. One other thing I gotta ask you, is there a certain thing I should know about the waterfall and the pump and the skimmer? Is there a distance there in terms of level? What do we need to know at home?
Sizing about the pond is very important. To know how many gallons your pond is.
Right.
The size of the pond dictates how big the pump should be, as well as the height of the waterfall.
Sure.
Head pressure that you need to calculate to go from the pump to the waterfall, as well as all the pipe in between. There's an easy formulation.
Interesting, and that's something that we can get maybe through your local extension office or by reaching out to a professor like Dr. Owen. Doc, thanks so much for spending time. This has been great to get a chance to learn from digging it, putting the fish in the water, and the waterfalls and filters. Great stuff. Y'all know what to do. Hop online and like the Georgia Farm Monitor Facebook page, and while you're on there, check out the Ranger Nick Facebook page. See what we're up to there. I love it when you do that. And until next time, as we always say for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Thanks so much for watching us. We'll see you back here again next month. See you.
Nick, thank you so much. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Here's a reminder for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm. Be sure and check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming and here on the Farm Monitor Show.
Take care, everybody. We will see you next week right here on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Have a great week.